Areté. Activate Your Heroic Potential. By Brian Johnson, author. Summary. Areté is the ultimate guide to personal development, providing 451 short ideas across 7 disciplines, combined from ancient philosophy, modern science, and the world's best books, in order to help you become the hero of your own story and achieve your full potential. When I first got into book summaries, I discovered Brian Johnson. He had a website called optimize.me, and he, too, published book summaries called Philosopher's Notes. Each note was a PDF offering a highly distilled version of a book with just the right level of detail. In 2021, he turned Optimize into Heroic, a public benefit corporation. He also raised millions via crowdfunding to build a world-class coaching and self-development program. Brian's mission is to ensure 51% of the human race will flourish by the year 2051. He even tattooed the goal onto his body. Another word Brian got a tattoo of? Areté. To the ancient Greek Stoics, it meant living virtuously, with excellence. To Brian, it means being your best self, moment to moment to moment. For him, that includes being a practitioner and a philosopher. That's why his Philosopher's Notes are the backbone of his first book. Areté. Activate Your Heroic Potential. Here are 3 lessons from this 1,000-page tome to unlock your potential. The big 3 to optimize for Areté are energy, work, and love. Keep practicing the fundamentals even after you succeed. If you maintain your habits, your soul force will carry you through the tough times. Let's learn how to live with Areté. Lesson 1. Optimizing your energy, work, and love will get you 80% of the way to Areté. 451 degrees Fahrenheit is the temperature at which paper bursts into flames. That's why Johnson's book comes in 451 short chapters. Each one adds 1 degree to our potential thermostat, until we ignite. While the book covers 7 different areas, the big 3 is the most distinct one. Having pored over self-help books since he was a teenager, Johnson eventually combined ideas from Stephen Covey, Tony Robbins, and Sigmund Freud into a manageable formula for fulfilling his potential. Energy, work, and love. Energy comes from the Greek words en-ergon, which means in work, and without it, we can't do our jobs nor show up for the people we love. Work is about the high-quality results we produce, which rests on 2 factors, according to Cal Newport's Deep Work: time spent and intensity of focus. Love is a growing force of kindness that starts with and inside us, then ripples out to family, friends, and even strangers. To begin optimizing the big 3, start with simple questions. Brian suggests, what's the number 1 thing you already know you could be doing to dial in your energy? What's the number 1 thing you already know you could stop doing that would most powerfully boost your energy? For your work, you can block time and distractions, but also treat yourself kindly when you fail. Needs work is a better criticism than this is useless. And love can start with simple hand gestures, as Brian makes with his children, like squeezing each other's hand or pulling out a few rock and roll salutes you found in your pocket. The road to Areté is a long journey. Start small, but start with the big 3. Lesson 2. Never forget the fundamentals even long after you've leveled up. In Raise Your Game, high-performance basketball coach Alan Stein tells the story of when he shadowed the late Kobe Bryant. His first shock came when Bryant said he'd work out at 4, to which Stein replied they already had something else scheduled that afternoon. "I know," Bryant said. "I work out at 4 a.m. Having peeled himself out of bed at this ungodly hour, Stein found Bryant already drenched in sweat at 4 a.m. For 45 minutes, he watched the world's best basketball player do the most basic drills. Ball handling, footwork, offensive moves. Bryant did it all. Granted, he did everything with surgical precision and superhero intensity. Stein writes, but the stuff he was doing was so simple, I couldn't believe it. Of course, when he asked Bryant why he bothered, the latter's answer came with a smile. "Why do you think I'm the best player in the game? Because I never get bored with the basics. I've been a writer for a decade, but I still publish a short daily blog every day. It's rarely perfect, but always necessary. Success may come to those who work hard, but it only stays with those who continue to dominate the fundamentals." As Brian calls it when he relates Kobe's story, no matter how far you go in this life, please Never forget the basics. Lesson 3. When the going gets tough, your soul force will keep you going, as long as you stick to your routines. Brian loves finding inspiration in language, and so did Mahatma Gandhi. When he opposed the British Empire, he dubbed his movement Satyagraha. Combined from sat and graha, it blends being or truth with polite insistence or force, the determination of our being. To Johnson, that's our soul force, and it's what Gandhi tapped into whenever the going got tough on his salt march and other activities. In fact, Mahatma means great soul, and Gandhi's soul force might be one of the main reasons he carried that title. How do you nurture and rely on your soul force? For example, by sticking to your guns when the world turns against you, as Johnson illustrates with the story of Sean Casey, a Major League Baseball batter and coach. While playing for the Cincinnati Reds, Sean started the season with a .400 batting average, a really high standard. Then, he struck out 12 times in a row when called to the mat. When Casey called his coach and told him he was 0 for 12, his coach only asked if he was sticking to his protocols. "Yes, of course. I'm doing exactly what we've talked about," Casey said. His coach asked, "Then why are you calling me?" Quit looking at the results and keep on dominating your protocol. As long as you're sticking to the routines and habits you know are working, the world will always come back to you. Finding the patience and keeping your faith, that's soul force, and that's the one thing that will keep working even when everything else doesn't. Maintain your soul force, and perhaps one day, we'll call you to Mahatma, a great soul.